Hi Scorpio. Welcome to your Sagittarius season, December 2024 reading. Before we get started, all information to work with me one-on-one is below, including my website, payment options, and the Patreon link for free content and paid for content. So the extended link will be the Patreon link below, then you can head right to Patreon, right to the home from there if you want something different, because the extended link is for this specific sign, Scorpio, and then you can navigate it from there. Yeah, everything is below. Sorry, I just have some stragglers to work with me. Books are open and available, and let's just get into a reading. I was thinking about your aura, and we'll get into that more, but your way of communicating, the way that you choose to communicate information, not only from yourself in a personal way, but also your insights, but also maybe in your job as well. You may be feeling even extra loving, extra compassionate at this time, and I would say that if you're feeling that way for others, also give that to yourself, because there are times when you could appear selfish, but it's actually a self-consciousness that you are moving through or going through, and when you need it, it's like you do the adverse or the opposite. When you have an adversity to connection, you can often connect in ways that you may want to have a short-term connection, but someone else wants to have a long-term connection, and it gets mixed up and misconstrued by either the depth or the quality of the information and the communication being shared in that relationship. And then at times when you're craving maybe a one-on-one relationship, you will give up certain values in order to connect, because there's an instant gratification that comes along with the power dynamics that Scorpio has, and that could be in, your friendships or your work. But it's just notice how you're communicating. Is it authentic, or is it coming from a place of wanting something from someone? And not that you can't do that, it's just, if you're wondering the quality of the relationship in return, you may want to take a look at these things. But regardless, there's a part of you that's feeling very, the Sagittarius, we'll take a look at that. That was the 9 of Cups. The Sagittarius energy of being very charming as well. So maybe it's your charm that's coming through, Scorpio. And the 8 of Cups, Queen of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. We have quite a few more cards that showed up. But to start off with these, is that you are realizing that whether it's you who have drawn yourself into these kinds of dynamics, it's you who needs to get yourself out of them. And if you're looking at, okay, how do I do this in the most productive way for yourself, strategic way for yourself, it's about first working on the emotional impact. What part of your emotions do you feel attached to? So this is the place you want to be, right? We'll keep this out here. Is being content with who you are and what you have to offer, regardless of where that is or how that is at this time, and the control that you actually have in your life, and where you can maybe see beyond that control and not automatically deem yourself unfit, or again want something so bad that you're willing to be desperate, or you're realizing that this is what's kept you stuck, is not being able to take control of your emotions and leave and move beyond that wherever you are physically, meaning a job, a relationship, even friendship dynamics. Like, you need to move away from certain things maybe continuously upset you, certain things you realize are a pattern and they keep coming back around, and you're like, okay, now you feel slow enough to realize where these dynamics have been misconstrued. You're learning to take your power back. Things could feel slow, But the truth is that you're adjusting to your worth more than ever right now. You're finally ready to move on emotionally. It's possible that you've done all the other work beyond the emotional work, and even you, the ultimate transformation, the ultimate transformer, can put the emotions last, could wait till that moment where you have to deal with your emotions because you're so busy setting everything up in your mind. You're so busy setting up the communication, the way things roll out, how you stand your ground, who you want to present yourself as. Because there's this very strong, independent 9-9, also endings, strong, independent, worthy endings of you not settling anymore and you receiving different opportunities because of that. If you're single or you're looking for a new job, the opportunities are around you. And to be honest, there may be equally good opportunities as long as you stand in your security and your worth. If you're giving that to yourself, things will move quickly, and your intuition is extremely important here. To be able to sit and know what you have yet to give, what you already know that you give, what's physically apparent, but also to be sure and confident in yourself enough to know that nothing has to be forced, and it's okay when things move quickly because it's meant to be, as opposed to trying to force something because you're desperate to make something happen, right? So there's a deep contentness in your intuition and your ability to be aware of the people who ultimately show up in your life now that you have taken your power back in some way, in some dynamics. Maybe for some of you that means you've left dynamics behind, or you're leaving dynamics behind, and adjusting to this version of you that is more pronounced than ever, moving forward into your worth. It's also could be someone who you could have seen this in someone else first, and maybe you're in a place where you are being reminded of someone, or if you can think of someone that you know that, and for some reason you saw them go through the certain process, or you paid attention to them a little bit more and you know that they've been through something in this way, and it's been a process in order for you to digest what they've been offering to you. And you finally, something that you've learned and you keep coming back to time and time again. It could be that one thing that person said that struck you, triggered you, stuck with you, impacted you. They all can be, all of those things could be present at once as well. And it could be also this Mars retrograde, the Queen of Wands. Mars retrograde went last week on the 6th or the 7th. I have it right here. What am I doing? The 6th. Okay. So this is about a week after it came out, or it turned retrograde. And for Scorpio, you have Leo in your 10th house. I lied. Leo in your 11th house. So you're Yep, sorry, I was right the first time. 10th house, I still have to calculate some things. There's a lot to look at. Your 10th house of your career. So this can absolutely, you be receiving information at this time, either from a Leo, someone with Mars and Leo, because this is coming up as a figure, or it could be Mars and Leo, and being in the environment that you were in made you realize how much you've been settling, or how much you've been basically fucked money wise, and you can actually set yourself up in a way where you have more freedom when you tap into your worth and realize what you really want, what you're really capable of, what you don't want to settle for, right? You realize, like, how can you make yourself more money, become also more independent, Sorry, my kitty is being funny. And how that feels for you to take that control back, to take your power back in these dynamics, in the ways that you communicate and pull back in order to also at the same time move forward, right? That 8 of Cups, moving away from that, noticing what has had power over you so that you can do what you can to control the dynamic in your own life and present to yourself where things just weren't adding up, right? There's also a part of you that doesn't realize that you've been stubborn, not for no reason, but you've needed to understand where you've been going, right? And you've been going and shifting in order to change you're shifting in order to continue to stay on that level with your dynamics, in order for you to meet and call in or connect to energetically the next opportunity, the next person that's going to come into your life, or your relationship, if you're in one, is evolving, right? If you actually like your job, that's evolving. You're evolving your place there because you're seeing yourself realize that you need to, as much as you are the transformative one, can be the psychic one, there is a part of you that can get stuck in your own perimeters, because even you can get unsettled by the mystery, because Scorpio, sun and rising, this is who you're growing into, right? This change that you're making, you want to strategize it. You want to see the next moves as you go. But sometimes when you're taking a different change or going somewhere you haven't been or haven't seen or haven't been aware of enough, but even though you know this place, you know your worthiness now, but now your whole life is beginning to adjust. And things are going to come at you. Maybe people are going to come at you. But there's a part of you that feels so secure that you've realized that things will always happen. And it's how you choose to handle that. Who you want to become as you handle that. Is it always easy? No, not by any means. But you realize that in order to grow in this sense of self-worth, you have to let the opportunities come in, settle with it, think about it, not respond out of desperation or needing to do something or just because you have energy, but responding and reacting in a way where your intuition can guide you, and that is from the body. So this is all also lots of pentacles, in touch with your body and your earthly matters. But also knowing what you have, knowing that you have this insight, knowing that you have an ability to be in a healthy way attached to what you've built, who you've become, and how you can share this information moving forward. For some of you, it's about securing your place in the world so you can share maybe more psychic or intuitive or intuitive ways of being. You'll become more aware of this. And I also wrote down, this is about your aura. This is perfect relation. I totally forgot. Your aura is being seen, and it's becoming more, you're growing your value. You've been growing your value and growing your value. Now you've been doing it in this way, and just making this once, even though it can appear subtle to others, it's a big change for you, because your emotional attachments are based off of, and your relationships can be based off of your money a lot, and how you choose to spend your time. And you're getting really crystal clear on what that looks like. And because you are making this one subtle shift, is changing your aura, it's changing your ability to attract different and higher quality to you, and vice versa. And it's your feminine and your masculine ability to come together. Your masculinity needs a place where you can be given the opportunity to both be Scorpio, Mars ruled, very aggressive, but in an impactful way. Because there's a security to yourself, there's a knowing, there's a trusting, right? The opposite of insecurity. And being more in touch with your body and feeling how your aura affects others, and how being in your own aura affects you, and how much you need to cleanse in that way, because you are a feeler. So things can get very much attached to you that may not be you, but then all of a sudden you take on this energy and it feels like it's clinging to you. So you need to cleanse your aura, cleanse, protect, whatever you need to do. Take a shower right away, wash your hands if you're feeling kind of weird and something shifted, and you're not home, going to the bathroom, just freshening yourself up, carrying around a spray, whatever you connect to, whatever earthly thing that you connect to. But ultimately it's getting clear on how your energy affects others and how others' energy affects you, and how that affects the way you move in your life, and what you can psychically intake, and what you're content with, what you're not attached to as much. All of a sudden there's more freedom, not just financially, but within your own reality, the way you maneuver in the world, even if it looks different than anyone else, even if it looks different than your partners. You shifting in your energy in this way, getting more refined and defined, is changing everyone around you. It's very Piscean, actually, which is interesting to me, because that's what I sense that Pisces do. And Pisces, Neptune did go direct in Pisces, so we'll touch on that for a moment. And that is in your creative, your 5th house for Scorpio risings. That's where Pisces would be. So this is creative energy. This is physical creative energy. It's you're starting to see also externally these shifts happen. That you have these conversations, you're not as attached, which means you're more in control of what you can be. And you see how that internal shift responds to the world externally. And it's just keep working, keep going. There will be a lot of different opportunities that come your way, but again, this is securing you and within yourself, so that you don't choose out of desperation, whether it's romantic, even if you just feel like having something fun, that's fine, but just know that there is still in a deeper way, an attachment there to your energy, and it's signifying that you're not ready for what you say you're ready for. So it's also allowing yourself to be patient, not feeding into your earthly desires in a way that's going to fuck you over and fuck over all of the work that you've just done, or unravel all of the work you just done, Scorpio. You want to keep focusing on yourself and not allow anyone to take you out of that. Nobody, no words, doesn't matter how they're saying it, who they're saying it to. Just remember, for some of you, these are people trying to get to you because you're doing so well, and they're coming out of nowhere because they see what you're doing. They maybe want a piece of it. You have to know the difference between someone genuinely wanting a connection with you, and you do know this, but you're getting extremely clear on it now, and someone just wanting your magic and wanting to feed off of your energy. That's why it's important to cleanse your aura and focus on your aura and notice what it attracts on given days, and paying more attention to that, and what you're open to, what you're not open to, what you're learning. I know it's a lot, but if you do this calculation, if you go through this for at least the next 30 days or until we have our next reading, you may start to notice what is that these 9s are coming up in my vision right now again, is that, and you'll see it more in the second part, they're right, the 9 of Pentacles, and then we have the 9 of Cups. You start to really understand how what you're attached to physically impedes on what you're attached to emotionally, or affects, right? Sometimes it impedes on, sometimes it's just a cause and effect situation, and you get really clear on and see what comes up, because when you move slow and when you're not in control, it's usually just because and that's just a signal from your body saying, we need to take a look here. You want to be more secure? Okay, I'm going to bring everything into your life where you're not. I'm going to show you where you are, but I'm going to show you where you're not. And if you can start to understand your earthly desires and know how people can manipulate you or get to you, or where their charisma overpowers who they really are, it's really important to notice the gestures. Notice why people, again, getting clear on why people are coming to you, circling back around to that. Are they just wanting your energy and something from you? When have you been like that? And then, or are they a genuine connection? Are they someone you can work with? Is a possibility there? I would say your reading clearly states not to make any major decisions, because you will have offerings. I'm going to put this out the day after I do this, or the night of. Mercury retrogrades on the 15th. The High Priestess tells me wait until the 15th until Mercury goes direct, and that's the full moon. So that will give you very clear. The full moon shows the full moon illuminates to us where our shadow is in that particular area, and it's also a way for you. It's also an ending of some sort, perhaps. So it depends on, of course, what you're going through, but it looks like you're going through an ending here, and it's in Gemini, and Gemini is in your 8th house for Scorpio risings. So this could most certainly be a change of job, or it could be a raise. It could be a shift in what you're wanting to do altogether. You may notice that your mental health is even shifting because of the changes that you're making, and it's mental, right? That's a mental area of the chart. So you're going to learn about yourself in a way that is communicated to you. It could be through media, because it's Gemini, and anything that you connect to, maybe you connect to something specific, and all of a sudden you're revealed to your own truth through this movie, through this video, through this game, and so on. Something like this, right? Yeah. So that's what I would say for you, Scorpio. Lots of deep security coming up in connection to that part of yourself, and how far you've come in general. So we'll take a look at the second part for you. Sagittarius for Scorpio risings is in your 12th house. So your Mercury is there, the sun is there, a lot of things unconscious coming up to the surface to help you grow and communicate differently. So if that's anything that you take from this video, just know that you're right on track. We'll see you in the second part. That's the first link below, but you can sign up for Patreon to get this first as well if you want it right to your email instead of going looking for it. All information to work with me one-on-one, and we'll catch you in the next one.